It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather, but occasionally some of us get hungry. That's why we're sponsored by Marco's Pizza, giving away 22 pizzas on Thursday. How is that possible? Well, 12 will go to one individual, and then we'll throw out 10 individual pies via certificates. They'll go out in the mail to names like that. It might be yours. Yours, if you register, it's pretty easy. In fact, I forgot to mention yesterday, the Pozzolis. Somebody said, what's the deal of the week? It's $5 Pozzolis. I don't know if you've been through a drive-thru like today or over the last 2 years, but you're hard-pressed to get out for less than 10 or 15 bucks. I don't know where you go. It doesn't matter where you go. I don't know what you order, but $5 Pozzolis look really good to me. And I have to tell you, this certificate for a year is awesome. We're going to be giving that winner away on Thursday. There are, in fact, 5, now 6 locations that are participating in the free pizza giveaway. The newest one is on South Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. So now we have 2. I can't believe it. Yes, we have 2 Chesapeake, 1 Norfolk, and 3 in Virginia Beach. But if you simply go to WTKR.com/Marcos, you will be actually randomized and put into a drawing. So we'll announce those winners on Thursday. But if you're curious and you haven't been to Marco's lately, a Pozzoli is pretty filling. It is like a stromboli or a calzone, but of course my favorite is the pepperoni and sausage that you see pictured here. And if you get some marinara or pizza cup sauce and some ranch, it's really, really tasty. All right, so I got to get back to the weather. I do want to mention this coastal storm is finally pulling away. So what's next? Well, the winds are going to still be around. They're not going to disappear altogether. In fact, when you look at the current conditions right now, it still looks gloomy. Do you know how hard it is to tell people it's going to be sunny tomorrow? Oh no, I haven't seen the sun in like days. I know, but you look at Virginia Beach, we got some choppy waves coming on the ocean front. Williamsburg looks gloomy. Kill Devil Hills doesn't really look that much better here at 7:41 at night, and Norfolk looks pretty gray. And we've had tidal flooding, which we're going to get into. But I do want to bring to your attention the peak wind gusts over the last 4 days have been pretty busy, right? Sunday was the big day, 47-mile-an-hour gusts. We had a 39-mile-an-hour gust at Norfolk International today. We had plus 55 to 60 in some places along the Outer Banks over the weekend. So I know some of you are like, well, make the wind stop. The winds aren't going to necessarily slow down, as I'll illustrate in a moment. But I can tell you by tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., I left a 10% chance of rain in the morning because this drizzle, these low clouds, will be last to leave the Outer Banks, which means if you're in Knott's Island, it's probably going to be cloudy for you in the morning. If you live in Duck, you live in Nags Head, it's probably going to be cloudy for you in the morning. So I just wanted to throw that out there, keep the expectation a little bit later in the day when the sun will pop out, and this is 5 o'clock Wednesday. So you're going to see some big improvement, but you're going to have to probably wait until we get to that point in time. Does that make sense? I hope so. Got some comments that are coming in. Some might have come in from yesterday. I got a David Rhodes. He looks like he's a new person. What's up, dude? Hey, I'm excited that it's Tuesday. We're not on to Monday anymore, and the weather looks better going forward. So let's do that. Let's focus on that. I got a new note from Henry. Henry looks like he's a new viewer because he says he's a new viewer. He's watching this morning. So I guess he was watching the live stream this morning from last night. So hey, I'm happy whenever you watch it. And he says very informative. Thank you, Henry. Glad to have you here. And did I mention, Henry, I know you might not be hungry in the morning for a Pozzoli, but there's a Pozzoli calling out your name. If you want to grab a $5 Pozzoli, you just have to use the promo code WTKR. Those are our call letters. And then my first name, which is David. And again, my favorite is pepperoni and sausage. I like the protein, but you might like the buffalo chicken. You might like the chicken bacon ranch or simply the pepperoni. $5. I'm telling you what, you can order ahead and pick it up. It's real easy. Check it out. Let's get to the weather, back to the news here, because this is what's interesting. As this pulls away, the radar is not going to pick up all the drizzle and low clouds. You get a little bit of radar noise around the Wakefield here. So basically, a little bit of noise, but the drizzle is still amongst us. It's still with us. That is to be expected. But as this system continues to evolve and move out, further out to sea, we'll see some big improvement. Let's focus on tides, because I want to hear what you have to say. It was minor today, at Sewell's Point, and I saw some tidal flooding at The Hague in Norfolk. I saw it outside of Olney Road and Bush Street, here what we call Lake Olney. It was minor at 4 o'clock this afternoon, but it's moving into what we classify as nuisance flooding over the next 3 cycles. So it's not perfect, but it is what it is. And up to a half a foot of inundation possible for Isle of Wight. We can include Suffolk in here. We can include Newport News. Some areas are going to have this until about 9 o'clock tonight. That's the coastal flood advisory. And this coastal flood advisory from the Morehead City office of the National Weather Service indicating up to 1 to 2 feet of inundation for the Outer Banks. This includes Hatteras, Ocracoke, Kill Devil Hills, Rodanthe, and all the rest. And this goes until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, hence why I still think you're going to have more clouds there first thing tomorrow. Take a look at Duck. Nuisance flooding expected for the next couple of cycles, around 5.2, 5.4. Wouldn't surprise me as we go down the road. I'm checking in with you if you've got a comment. This is a great opportunity to sound off. Let me know what you're seeing, what you're feeling. Are you excited that the sun's going to come back? It will be returning tomorrow. We'll talk about that here momentarily, but let me look at some comments here. Tyler is on here. I think he's maybe a new comment for me. As I fly back in here and telestrate, he's saying thank you. Thank you, Tyler, for being here. Some of us like to watch it on delay. So when it's convenient for you, some of us like to watch it live. I'm glad to have any participation. I've got a great trivia question for you tonight, and it comes by way of Tony Nargi. But I took it one step further. I wanted to find out the converse, because I'm going to ask you a question when the earliest snowfall ever was. I'm going to ask you when was the latest snowfall in the spring. You might be surprised, maybe you're Googling it now, but I'll have the answers to that coming up in a moment. Let's get back to the forecast, because I mentioned Duck, North Carolina, nuisance flooding. This is going to take us into Thursday. I thought it was supposed to be nice on Thursday. It will be nice and sunny. But of course, if you live anywhere near low-lying areas of water, it tends to rise when this is nuisance. Now, large breaking waves in the surf zone will last until about 8 o'clock tomorrow night. That's 24 hours from now. That's amazing. That covers all the areas in pink. That would be Duck, Rodanthe, all the way down toward Hatteras. There's some big waves. You don't need me to tell you they're big waves. They're still out there, and that's causing some erosion, no doubt. Weather headlines, I want to focus on what we do know. Tidal flooding will improve tomorrow. I've kind of highlighted that already. A sky full of sunshine. A sky full of sunshine. No way. Develops Wednesday, and cooler nights ahead Thursday night and Friday. And I mentioned yesterday, some of you are like, wow, cool's cool. Now you piqued my interest. Cool for us will be in the upper 40s to near 50 for Virginia Beach and Norfolk. Now, if you live or travel through Northern Virginia, Central Virginia, Southern Virginia, some call it the Piedmont, you probably have good chances of seeing some frost. Did you just say frost? Thursday night, Friday night. So if you're traveling in other parts of the Commonwealth, you might be surprised of how desperately you're going to reach for the jacket come later on this week. Just throwing that out there. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's cooler. Cooler nights are coming. By the way, peak gusts today in Virginia Beach, 40. But since we've already covered with my full screen, it was 39 in Norfolk. Norfolk had a peak gust of 39 today. It was 40 in Virginia Beach and 32 in Manteo. Hatteras had a gust of 33 miles per hour. Do I have that right? I do have that up. I have that right. In fact, Tyler wants to know what's the weekend looking like. I don't want to give it all away, but it's going to be great. The only time I have a wrinkle, a little hiccup in the forecast for the weekend is late Sunday night. So after dark, you have all day Sunday, fine. But once it gets dark, I'm talking like after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and into midnight, and into the time frame of Monday morning, that's when I think the rain's going to pick up, about a 60% chance. So weekend looks good. Thursday, Friday looks spectacular. But I'll get all that in with the 7-day forecast. Glad to have you here. I got a note from our good friend Taj Brown. He's a regular because he watches live. You too could be a regular if you watch us between 7:40 and 8 o'clock Monday through Thursday. But glad to have Taj here. He's always a familiar face. Always glad to see him here. And he wants to know. He had a question about the giveaway, I guess. He says, and this is probably a good explainer moment, does this qualify for all locations or one of the 6? Because I stay by a different one than the winner location. Yeah, the free pizza giveaway is exclusively those 6 locations. You can find a Marco's virtually anywhere in the country. It was started out of Toledo, if I'm not mistaken, from Gianmarco, the founder of Marco's Pizza, came out of Toledo. He's originally from Italy. But I get ahead of myself. But the 6 locations that I mentioned are the ones that participate in the contest, and that's how you would redeem your pizza. So if you get your name selected, Taj, that's where you'd want to go. Any one of those 6 would be happy to give you free pizza. All right, let me get back. Good question, because I know sometimes, and you don't have to register more than once. If you've done it once before, you don't have to do it again. I've mentioned that before as well. All right, peak wind gusts. Let's go to the current wind gusts. It is 7:49 at night. Just so you know, this is live. I'm here talking with you in pseudo real time because the comments might be delayed a second or two. But in Melfa, we have a 17-mile-an-hour gust right now. In Norfolk, 18. That's down from 39 earlier today. And in Manio-Kittiawk, we have a 20-mile-an-hour gust. And it's really still about 23.5. I suspect we're going to find gusts tomorrow about 25-ish tomorrow in the south side. It could be about 30-ish in the Outer Banks. But this is at 11 o'clock. So for what it is, and it is a model, it's trying to extrapolate this this coastal storm pulling away, but it's clear that it's coming from the north. So this wind is going to continue to drive some cooler air down and drop temperatures tonight into the upper 50s, low 60s. Well, we have a lot of clouds. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I don't know where you are, if you're in a car, driving to school or work, 24, 34. So there's about a 10-mile-an-hour difference between the Outer Banks and the south side. I think, again, gusts around 25 seems reasonable for southeast Virginia. Heading into 12 noon, still pretty breezy. Even though the sun is out and 5 o'clock has arrived in the afternoon, still a little breezy. And if you're hoping that the winds are going to just kind of fall off entirely with sunny skies Thursday, think again, because this is 7 a.m. Thursday, and the winds are still gusting around 30 here, 25 south side. So the effect of this coastal storm, obviously still bringing down a northerly wind component is playing a role in our forecast down the road. Now, if you're in the military, we have the largest naval base in the world here in Norfolk. I know and I recognize that some of you have family that might be far and near and far, everywhere and anywhere, still getting a coastal storm on the coast of California. We mentioned some snow, and that is snow that you see here. I know it's hard to detect with the clouds, but this area in white for the higher terrain, they're getting some snow in the higher terrain of California. If we were to zoom back out and take a look over here, let's take a look and see we've got more rain in Nevada, not far from Vegas, they're getting some rain. And if we take a look up toward some active weather in Wisconsin, how many of you are from Wisconsin? It's raining in Green Bay, it's raining in Minneapolis, it's raining in northern parts of Minnesota as well, into Iowa, and coming back home. Not much to see in the state of Florida. And if you're from Texas, there's a little bit of rain in South Texas right now, and North Texas, really not much to see in the Lone Star State. And coming back to the eastern shore and into Virginia Beach, clearly we don't see much, but there's still the potential for some drizzle as well as some low clouds. Low temperatures today. Oh, you're going to like this. Stay tuned here. Hang with me. Our low this morning was 59 degrees. That was at 10 after 5. 5:10 in the morning. How do you know that? Well, because the Norfolk International keeps records. And I'm a geek. I'm a weather geek. I look at the numbers. When did that happen? It happened at 5:10 in the morning. Our high temperature hit a measly 63, but now it hits 64. I find this fascinating. 63 occurred at 12:25 this afternoon. But lo and behold, the warm weather has moved up. I mean, I say warm. We've moved up a degree as of 7 o'clock. And 7 o'clock, at 6 o'clock it was 63. So our new high temperature is the present time, around 7:52. So we are at now a new high of 64. That matches what we had yesterday. Amazing. Now this is what's interesting. Wednesday's forecast is kind of special. I'll put this up on the board behind me because this is kind of like a time lapse. But why is Wednesday a special forecast? I'm going to see if I can appeal to the inner child in all of us. How many of you remember Annie? Annie had a saying. What did Annie used to say? Oh, I know. The sun will come out tomorrow. That fits tomorrow. The sun's going to come, and that's a tough sell when it's been cloudy and gloomy and yucky for pretty much the last 4 days. All right, Annie, this is an Annie forecast, and it's a Goldilocks forecast. What did Goldilocks have to say? Goldilocks had something simple. It was not too hot, not too cold, just right. Temperatures around 70 tomorrow. So you're telling me, Aldrich, it's going to be 70, and the sun's going to come out, and it's not too hot, not too cold. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you. if that's the best way to sell you on Wednesday, it's even better on Wednesday, on Thursday and Friday if you like it a bit cooler. Because today, let's face it, 64 and damp. We picked up 0.08 of an inch of rain this morning, primarily between 8 and 10 at Norfolk International. So we did get some rain, but hey, let's face it, Annie, Goldilocks, they're going to hang out tomorrow. Our high 70. The winds are probably the only bothering factor because they're going to still be busy 10 to 20, gusting to 25. But the UV index is going up, and the dew points are going down. We'll talk about that in a moment. 3 to 7 feet for surf height, and this is for Wednesday's expectation. Got some other notes here. Wanted to say hi to you, and I see Taj. He's playing along because, you know, let's face it, life is short. Might as well make every day fun. He says the sun will come out. Bet your bottom dollar it will come out. And I don't know if you know where your sunglasses are. I don't even know where my jacket is. I don't know if I'll want to wear a jacket, but if I'm up early on Thursday, say Friday morning, I'm probably going to want to reach for a jacket, and maybe you will too. So maybe you might be thinking, where, did I put it in this closet or that closet? You know, that type of thing. You still got time to figure all that out. All right, beach forecast, 70, water temp around 71. My chance of rain is 60% this weekend, but don't fear, because the two key words there, the two key words are at night. I do think we'll get some rain. It'll come in with the passage of this front. And so that'll drop the temperature from about 76, some indicate 77 on the data. We'll get in the mid, possibly upper 70s on Sunday before the clouds roll in later in the afternoon. And I think we'll get some rain. So to answer Tyler's question, a little bit on delay. His question was, how's the weekend look? I think it's looking good. It's probably until after dark. And by that point, we'll get a little bit of rain on Monday morning, and then that too shall depart pretty quickly. So I'm hopeful and optimistic, at least with the data that I see today, that that's the case. Keep moving. Now, here's the question. What is the earliest snowfall? Gather around. Who likes to play this game? I like it. The weather trivia is fun. We all love to learn. We hate to be taught. So let me just throw this out there. What is the earliest snowfall on record in Norfolk? Is it A? Is it B, or is it C? Now, this gives me a chance to check and read some of the comments I might have missed. So put in your letter, please, so we can find out who's got this figured out. Let's see here. I got a note from Taj. No, it's a note from Kim. It's a detailed note. My goodness. Taj, check Marcos.com. I got a coupon for one of the non-6 locations. That is a good price for one topping. I've never had Marcos, but it looks so good on this live. I've tried. Well, I hope so. It looks good. It looks like it's steamy in that picture. Thank you, Kim. Kim's always on here giving us some good feedback. I got a note from Taj. Taj is the first. Since he's watching live, I got to give him props. He says the answer is November 11th. Taj, you know, I'm pulling for you. You know that, right? You know that when we do the trivia, you had been like, I don't know, 3 out of 5 or three for 5. You were doing so well. And then yesterday, you had a little stutter step. But today, I'm happy to report. That you got today's answer right. I think you had A, right? You did. A, November 11th. Now, how much snow fell? Tony Nargi didn't look that up for me, so I had to look that up. It actually occurred in 1987, November 11th. We picked up 0.3. It's not a lot of snow, but it's measurable. It wasn't even a half inch. It was 0.3 inches, but 1987. Now, the converse, which I probably should ask Tony. He probably would have to look this up. But what is the latest snowfall on record in Norfolk? Are you ready? It's real easy. It's still the 11th, but it's April. April 11th, we picked up a half inch, and that was in 1989. So we have November 11th, 0.3, 1987, April 11th, 1989, 0.5. We did get a half inch for the latest snowfall on record. Isn't that weird that I like this stuff? I like looking this stuff up, and I appreciate Tony for getting the ball rolling, because he is our newest weather member of the weather team, meteorologist here. Now, as far as our tropical storm Lorenzo, nothing to see here. This storm is weak and likely to become a tropical depression very soon, so I don't want to dwell on it. But Melissa, Nestor, and Olga are in fact the next 3 names on the list. We have till November 30th until hurricane season, as you know, will come to a conclusion. Satellite pictures showing more thunderstorms out in the middle of the Atlantic, but this is where you really want to kind of gather around and get excited. I think it's a hopeful weather message that it will come out tomorrow. Thank you, Annie. And it's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. 70 degrees. Is that what you set your thermostat? I don't know. It's room temperature, whatever room you're in or whatever you set your room to be. Sunshiny skies will be how it ends. However, there are going to be probably more clouds in places like, because it's a clearing from west to east. So if you're in Knott's Island, if you're in Back Bay, if you're in Virginia Beach, you're in Duck, And Nag said you're probably going to find more clouds in the morning and think this weather guy's off his nut. But give me a few hours, give me till about 10:30, 11, and by noon it's mostly sunny everywhere. And I'll demonstrate that as we head into the futurecast here in mere moments. But the gust of wind, I think locally in the Norfolk, Southeast Virginia area will be about 25, could be closer to 35 for the Outer Banks. Now, I do have to make a revision here. I had 63 because that was when the climate report came out. But at 7 o'clock, we hit 64. So 64, 2 in a row. Yesterday and today, still unusually cool for this time of year because the normal high is in fact 73. And this again is also a typo. We can cross this out thanks to the telestrator. Let's just put a big 4 in there and now you can work with me. But 86, who was president 19? Oh, that was Gerald Ford. So the record, 1975, 86, that's how long it's been since we've been that warm on this date. I can give you some high confidence that we picked up about 0.08 of an inch of rain in Southeast Virginia. Hampton picked up 0.02. We picked up 0.08 in Norfolk, 0.09 of an inch in Chesapeake today, and Suffolk 0.03. Most of this rain that's measurable, even up towards Saluda, happened this morning, particularly before noon. October rainfall, 0.08, basically it's 0.08, and so we're now over an inch for the month. Normal is just under 4 inches. We're now at 103 for the month, and we're going to be drying things out in the short term. Dew point temperatures are going to be tumbling down, so much so that you're going to be having a hard, it's like, is it really that dry? It's not showing up here in Hatteras because it's 61. It's really not even showing up in Knoxville at 52, but you go to Nashville, there's the sign. When this dry air moves in, it's going to come in very, very sharp. So I suspect there'll be a lot of cool numbers to note heading into Thursday night and Friday night. Certainly the cold air will be felt. As far as the what dew point means, we're going to be generally in the 40s. So let me show you my dew point forecast. I've got us down to 42 on Friday. So this is the morning where if there is frost somewhere in the Commonwealth, it's likely to be in Northern Virginia, Central Virginia, Southern Virginia, the Piedmont, and back toward the Shenandoah Valley. So if you're looking for some cold air, I mean, the dew point's anything below 60 is nice, but boy, is it dry. The air is going to be very, very dry heading into Thursday and Friday. Got some other comments, just checking in with you. Like having this conversation. I appreciate that. Let's see. Taj was following up on his note about the latest snowfall. He says, I was thinking, in his words, I was thinking May, but could be too warm of a time frame. Around here, perhaps, I would think we're already thinking springtime in May, but April 11th is interesting. The last measurable snow, April 11th, and that was in 1989. So you can double check my facts, but if I'm wrong, I can always eat crow. But I prefer to eat Pozzoli. That's my favorite. WTKR David promo code, check it out. If you're hungry like I am getting about now, that's a real good item, especially if you tend to go through the drive-thru. Something very filling is available with my favorite item, the pepperoni and sausage. All right, back to the maps. I get distracted. I get distracted. It's okay. Temperatures as of 8 o'clock, 8:02. Even though Chesapeake's having some issues, it's been down for a couple of days. The temperature in Norfolk has reached its maximum for the day. This is the high for the day. 64 in Hampton, 63 in Portsmouth, currently 62 in Suffolk. We had a daytime high of 63. Poquoson, you're looking good, I guess, 63. You got clouds overhead. You're just like us in Norfolk. It's 64 in Moyock, and they're still in the lower 60s in Elizabeth City, Currituck, and Manio. But where is the warmth? I mean, if you call 72 warm, Indianapolis looks okay, temperature-wise, 75 in hot Atlanta, but up in the Big Apple, they're at 61. Hatteras is at 63. Knoxville, you are at 70 degrees at this hour, while Charlotte's at 75. The temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center puts us near normal, almost getting closer to Halloween. This takes us through the 28th. This is what we call the 8 to 14 day outlook, and it's a temperature outlook. It's a very warm relative to averages for parts of North Dakota, northern parts of Minnesota, and parts of the Plain States, but that takes you through the 28th. I wanted to show you where the cool air is draining. It's coming down from Canada, if not by the 18th into Minnesota, but certainly by the time we hit the 21st, it looks like it's kind of fighting. It's having a drag-out fight here for the cold and the cool, but this looks a lot cooler relative to the average by the 24th. That's a week from Friday. And dare I say, because I looked this stuff up, That's also the home opener for the Norfolk Admirals. You know the Admirals? You know Salty the dog? Yeah, you know hockey. If you're a minor league hockey fan, you're already thinking it's time for some cool air when I go inside the scope, because you want to watch some Norfolk Admirals action. It starts on the 24th, so it might be perfect hockey weather by the time we get a week from Friday. And of course, this weekend we have the Town Point Wine Festival. The fall Town Point Wine Festival is this weekend, so good weather would be appreciated. I do know that. Temperature trend, Goldilocks, my friend. It's near normal. Well, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's 70, but the normal high, to be fair, is 73. So if we hit 64 yesterday, 64 today, since that was revised at 7 p.m., we'll hit 63. That's like in keeping with low to mid. Low to mid 60s. I think we're going to be back around 76 by Sunday, as we anticipate we'll see some rain by nightfall. The Eastern Shore forecast, I want to give a shout out to our friends in Onancock. Bloxham, both at 68 and 70. Saxis at 70. Chincoteague 70. And our friends in Cape Charles. Exmoor also in the mid to upper 60s for you. Heading to the Outer Banks tomorrow, expect early clouds to give way to sunshine. 66 for Kill Devil Hills, Nags Head and Duck. 67 in Manio and Roanoke Island. 69 Ocracoke. 68 for Hatteras, Rodanthe, about 67. I'm going to fly through the Storm Prediction Center maps. I know that some of you might be interested in weather beyond the four corners of this part of the world, but I do know isolated and dark green tends to be a hot spot in a few areas between now and daybreak, specifically New Mexico, not far from maybe around, I guess you pronounce it Taos or Socorro. I'm not sure if I pronounced that, but not far from Roswell and Santa Fe. Nothing to see here, so really severe weather is absent on the East Coast, but these little green patches represent some hotbeds for maybe some isolated severe storms tomorrow. If you have family up toward Rapid City, South Dakota, western Nebraska, or even Cheyenne, Wyoming, they too could have some isolated severe storms, and then another patch into Colorado and New Mexico as well. Again, no issues here because we're going to be drying things out, but if you're on an airplane in the next day or two, Thursday looks quiet. The only trouble spots that might develop would appear to be in the Midwest, around Colby, Kansas, and maybe parts of Colorado. That would be isolated severe storms, not much more than that. I think we're good there. Let me take you through tonight. You can clearly see there are still some green dots here. So again, this is the model trying to discern, trying to figure out where's the drizzle, right? The drizzle is so small, it's minute, it's not going to show up. But there are indications it's still gloomy. 11 o'clock I find interesting. It starts to clear things out in places like Sussex County and inland Virginia and inland North Carolina. I mean, back as far as maybe Hertford County. So you start to see some of those clouds break. By 7, it's blanketed through Duck, Knott's Island, Elizabeth City, Currituck, all the way down toward Roanoke Island. Still cloudy. But maybe the sun is shining for you in Sussex and Surrey. And maybe it's partly cloudy around Franklin. That's a possibility. But it's very easy to see that the sun will come out. If that's 7 a.m., could you show me noon? Ooh, noon looks better. It's like an optometrist exam. Like an ophthalmologist. Is this better or worse? This looks better. This looks Goldilocks, man. This looks like Annie. Annie's singing that song, Bet Your Bottom Dollar, the sun comes out tomorrow. It looks really good at noon. So if you are working the third shift, you sleep late, let's say, you're going to say it was sunny all day. Well, it's because you got up at 10. But if you get up at 5, 6, 7 a.m., the first thing out the door, you might complain that the clouds are still hanging around at noon at Elizabeth City and maybe Duck. Does that help? I hope it does. It's 8:07. I'm just trying to give you what I expect. And then by 4, we'll say 3, 4, and 5, we still have some nuisance tidal flooding. The winds are still gusting, probably close to 15, 20, 25, but boy, does it look good, right? Lots of sunshine across the board, all the way through the Eastern Shore as well. I think you'll be impressed the way it looks by 3, 4 o'clock this tomorrow afternoon. Who else is on here? I got Tyler, I got Taj, I got Kim. Kim is on here. She had about 28 minutes ago. I missed this comment, but she said, hi, everyone. Kim, it's good to have you. Did I mention that we're also going to be giving away pizza on Thursday? So I hope your name is in the drawing. I hope you've registered. And so that way, if you are a winner, I will put your name on the screen. We'll do a little dance. I like to throw up confetti on Thursdays. It's a lot of fun. You've been it. You know it. You've seen it. But we're going to have some fun on Thursday when we announce the winners. I really hope everybody will register. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is go to this webpage, WTKR.com. That's our webpage /Marcos. Put your name in. It takes about a minute or maybe 2, to put in your name and email address and give us permission to send you a certificate. If you win, you would win free pizza for a year. And since October is here, this would be this month, but you would get one large, one topping pizza every month for free, and it'll carry you right through September 26th. 2026, 12 pizza pies would be coming to you. And of course tomorrow, or should I say Thursday, I'll also be giving out the free ones. I like to do the free ones too, so give out the free ones. 10 of them individually go out the door as well. There they go, out the door. Okay, so let me go back. We'll finish this up because it is now 8:09. With the clear skies on Wednesday night, it stays clear on Thursday. It stays clear at noon on Thursday. It stays clear at 5 p.m. Thursday. I mean, it's just sunny. It's sunny, but still a little breezy, and with nuisance tidal flooding persisting. Tomorrow morning, upper 50s for the peninsulas. 59 for North Carolina, about 61 south side. Here's some numbers and individual towns. About 58 for Suffolk, Edenton 59, 62 Duck, 61 Virginia Beach, and 60 for Hampton. Our friends in Smithfield, about 58, 55 Murfreesboro, and 62 for Corolla. Wednesday afternoon, I'm expecting highs around 70. It is a Goldilocks forecast. We're talking about near low 70. That's perfect. It's like, it's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just right. 73 in Ahoskie, 73 in Wakefield and Edenton, and 67 in Cape Charles tomorrow. About 70 for Norfolk, 72 for Matthews, Nags Head, about 66. Here's your first warning, WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. So we've got a pair of sunshiny days, Wednesday and Thursday, well, Wednesday afternoon through Friday, and I still love Saturday. Saturdays, I mean, it's kind of like, well, you're not going to have any residual clouds. It's a mostly sunny day on Saturday, but they'll slowly increase on Sunday. I wanted to be very clear. I think at least based on today's data, the timing can change. Of course it can. But right now it looks like it's an 8 p.m. and thereafter type of event. So with the sun going down now before 6:30, I could have just said showers after dark, but I think it's probably going to wait till it's a little bit closer to 8 o'clock and thereafter before it rolls in, and it will linger to about early in the morning on Monday. So it will feel like a Monday. We wake up to clouds, and then sunshine will evolve or develop there. So temperatures a little bit cooler on Tuesday. Tuesday, of course, is the 21st. That's about 69 degrees, a little cooler. But these lows, this is where I'm talking about. How can you get frost at 50? You can't. How do you get frost at 49? You don't. But if you're in inland Virginia, if you're in the Piedmont, you're in central Virginia, they will have dew points, and they will also drop into the 30s. They won't have to go that far. We'll be highlighting that, I'm sure, on Thursday, so you can get a better look, and I enjoy and invite you to check back. Look at these great waves. This comes by way of Betty Photo Taker. Don't you mean Betty Burton? Well, she has a handle. She goes by Betty Photo Taker, but she said, if you're going to give me credit, and I want to give you credit, Betty, because this is a great photo. Betty Burton is her name, and the waves were crashing during the big storm this weekend. This is from Fort Monroe. Looks better full screen. This one too looks great. Let me go back to this full screen. This is from William Wood, the Buckrow Beach sunrise. Isn't that nice? That's the kind of stuff we miss. That's the kind of stuff. Oh, it's breathtaking. James River sunset from our WTKR photographer, Katrina Gay, who I want to be the first to wish you happy birthday, because I know she said it's tomorrow. Her birthday, Katrina Gay, she's turning 50 tomorrow. The big 50. That's the age they say that once you hit 50s, you don't really care what other people think about you anymore. Maybe that's the case. You just keep doing your thing. And I'm very happy that because she's been sending us great James River sunset pictures for what I've seen for months. She might have been doing it for years, but either way, it's great. Love it. It also gives us a good sense of what's coming. And I was joking yesterday, I'm getting free vitamin D just from looking at this photo. But do you see what I'm saying? This is what we miss. And this is what we're going to get, is more sunshine heading into tomorrow. So hopefully everybody will be happy. Radar's not showing much other than perhaps some drizzle. It really is not going to show up very well there. But the first warning, WTKR News 3 7-day forecast has 63 on Thursday, 63 on Friday, and as I mentioned, a big weekend for the 12th annual Harvest Festival at the Chippewa State Park. They've got their 12th annual Harvest Festival for music. They also have all kinds of goodies like tractor pull and pumpkin patch or pumpkin painting. They're doing all sorts of good things in Surrey, Virginia this weekend too. So just to reset, very thankful for all of you. Want to make sure that you know that there is a place to pick up the free pizza. If you happen to have your name drawn, if you are a winner, and it's very easy to register, it takes you about a minute. These are the 757 phone numbers for the 3 Virginia Beach locations. locations. This is the 2 Virginia Chesapeake locations and the 1 in Norfolk. Any one of these 6 locations will give you free pizza because they're the ones participating in the contest. You can find more locations in Hampton Roads and in the Tidewater area at marcos.com. But again, I'm promoting these specifically, these 6, because they're the ones who want to give away the free pizza. They're big on weather. I'm big on pizza. It's a wonderful marriage, I'll tell you that. Anyway, so we go back to the weather. Just remember, these days are coming. We've got a lot of gloom overhead now, but it will be better tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny, and it will be soon, or if it's serious. Just remember that every day is a gift. Please make the best of it, make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.